I'm back! You're back! So last time we read 10 hooting owls. So this time I thought it'd be fun if we read 10 silly wombats. Do you know this story? 10 silly wombats. Silly Billy. And look at this guy dancing on his head. Shall we read it? 10 silly wombats. 10 silly wombats. 10 silly wombats getting on a bus. 10 silly wombats getting on a bus. And if one silly wombat should make a big fuss, there'll be 9 silly wombats getting on the bus. Who's making a big fuss? Who is it? Is it this guy over here? What's he doing? Is he dancing and jumping on that bus stop? Oh, that is a bit of a fuss, silly wombat. I think it's because he saw a snake. 9 silly wombats. Oh, there we go. 9 silly wombats having tea and buns. 9 silly wombats having tea and buns. And if one silly wombat is having too much fun, there'll be 8 silly wombats having tea and buns. Ooh, look. Do you like tea and buns? They look like cream donut buns to me. What flavor do you think they are? Banana? Strawberry? Chocolate? 8 silly wombats going down the water slide. 8 silly wombats going down the water slide. And if one silly wombat should fly a little wide, meow, meow, woo, there'll be 7 silly wombats going down the water slide. Do you like the water slide? Look at them, they're having such a fun time. But one went a little far, whee! And now there's only 7. 7 silly wombats driving racing cars. 7 silly wombats driving racing cars. And if one silly wombat drives all the way to Mars, there'll be 6 silly wombats driving racing cars. Vroom! All the way to Mars? Can wombats drive to Mars? That's pretty silly. That's pretty far away too. 6 silly wombats swinging very high. 6 silly wombats swinging very high. And if one silly wombat swings way up into the sky, whee! There'll be 5 silly wombats swinging very high. Now, let's see who's swinging into the sky. We've got this silly wombat, this silly wombat, this one, this one, this one. Whee! Oh no! Is he gonna crash into the tree? You better be careful, silly wombat. He almost hit the bird. He's flying so high. Can you fly high on the swings? You better be careful. 5 silly wombats playing football. 5 silly wombats playing football. And if one silly wombat should accidentally fall, there'll be 4 silly wombats playing football. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Wah, wah, wah. Oh no, he fell down. Hello, Mr. Worm. 4 silly wombats eating ice cream. 4 silly wombats eating ice cream. And if one silly wombat should very loudly scream, wah, there'll be 3 silly wombats eating ice cream. Who's screaming for ice cream? You silly Billy Wombat. Oh no. What's this? Is that an octopus? What's this? Is that a whale? What's this? Is that a racing car? Is it a train? Is it an airplane? Oh, it's a sailboat. Silly wombats are out on the beach. 3 silly wombats playing hide and seek. 3 silly wombats playing hide and seek. And if one silly wombat should forget to peek, peekaboo, There'll be 2 silly wombats playing hide and seek. Oh, there's only 2 because the other one forgot to find them. And he's running away. And what's he doing? There's 1 hiding. There's 2 hiding. And there's 3. He's just playing on the table. You silly Billy Wombat. You're supposed to play hide and seek, not play on the table. He is a silly wombat. 2 silly wombats dancing in a show. 2 silly wombats dancing in a show. And if one silly wombat begins to puff and glow, proop, proop, there'll be 1 silly wombat dancing in the show. Do-do-do-do, dancing, do-do-do-do. Look at the audience. What animals are watching in the audience? Interesting. 1 silly wombat waiting all alone. 1 silly wombat waiting all alone. And if that silly wombat goes all the way back home, following the path all the way home, there'll be no silly wombats waiting all alone. 10 silly wombats sound asleep in bed. Oh, there they are, 10 silly wombats sound asleep in bed. And if all those silly wombats have a story read, there'll be 10 silly wombats sound asleep in bed. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. Are they all sleeping? Is it bedtime? Good night, silly wombats. The end. Do you like that story? And this is the funny, silly bonus wombat who's dancing on his head. Alright. See you next time. Bye!